My God, we're having a great conversation. But I'm going to disagree with you here. You said both religion and science is formed by the universal question, how did we get here? That may be true today and how many people think about it today. But when we look at the origins of religion, that is not where they come from. Religion actually comes from a complete, bold-faced lie with some truth embedded in it. Let me give you the example. The overwhelming majority of religions today can trace their religion back to the Sumerians. Yes, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, most religions today, if you were to accept the Atlantean Sumerian story, then you would trace it back to those people, to Thoth the Atlantean or the Anunnaki of Sumeria, which is Enki is an Anunnaki. So they didn't create religion based on asking the question, how do we get here? They knew how they got there. The Sumerians tell you exactly that they were created around 200,000 years ago by the Anunnaki, that Homo erectus was utilized to, Homo erectus was taken by the Anunnaki, and Anunnaki gene splicing was done to clone a Homo erectus over 16 different trials to get to Homo sapien. So they knew exactly where they came from. They weren't questioning where they came from. The lie part was that the Anunnaki told them that they were gods. That Enlil, Enki, Marduk, Inanna, Dumuzi, Anu, Lama, all of them said that they were gods. And when after the Younger Dryas period had destroyed most civilizations, when Enki goes over to the Mesoamerica, he says, I'm the feathered serpent, I'm Quetzalcoatl. Inanna goes to the Indus Valley and says, I'm Ishtar. And so they still go about the world telling everybody 12,000, 9,000 years ago that they were gods. And men worship them. People worship them. This is where religion comes from. Only as we have grown in our consciousness do we realize that if those beings existed, if the Sumerian story is correct, then those were either a pre-intelligent civilization prior to the last ice age, or they are from another planet, one or the other, or you can add an extra dimensional planet in as well. So one of those three is where they would have to be from. So, but when religion began, nobody was questioning where they came from. They knew exactly. They believed that the gods, the Anunnakis, took the hominid, the Homo erectus, and made it into the Homo sapien by adding their DNA. So that wasn't the question. But it makes you wonder this as an enlightened point. What if the Anunnaki were completely honest? I understand for their own purposes of creating a slave race that they were not going to be honest. I'm not questioning that. But let's say that they were actually honest and they had told their Homo sapien, Adapa and Titi, that yes, you were created through lab experiments. We accelerated your genome or changed your genome to be a creature that is more like us. And then told them that they were not gods. That they were just the ones they were the scientists. That they were not gods. That they were not to be worshipped. Imagine if they had told them that truth. If that truth had been told and they understood and watched nature, then we would not have all these religions. Because it is through the many of the Anunnaki that we get the many of the religions. If we did not have the many of the Anunnaki, we would not have the many of the religions. And then the majority of the wars, the majority of the strife, the majority of the slavery and all these things that have happened in this world quite possibly will be diminished greatly. I'm not going to say that. I'm not foolish enough to say that man would not have fought wars, man would not have created religion, or man would not have created slavery, not religion, had created slavery. I'm not saying that man would not have done that. But if man did not have religion and just recognize that nature is nature, universal laws are universal laws, they function, they work, and we just figure them out and how they function, how they work. But not, I have the justification of my religion to come and murder you and kill you and take from you. That's an amazing thing. That would be an amazing thing. I would love to see how man's history would have panned out if we never ever began to worship any of the Anunnaki, which spurned into all these other religions. So you have a great day. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.